Hi, everybody. This is Allison from Alley Cat Creations. How are you? Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you have yet to do so. And if you get anything from my work, a connected dot, an epiphany, a mind-blown moment, new books to read, new content to explore, new authors to look into, artwork, oracle card readings, and all that other fun stuff, all that is in the description under this video, and you can check out my website, AllyCatCreations211.com, just to peep at all the work that I do. I just added these frames and some other pieces, so go check it out. I update it not all the time. It's very time consuming, but worth it. So today I'm doing tea in chat, some spiritual soul advice, and I'm on my alarm bells. Right before I just made my tea, and I get a knock on my door, even though I have a doorbell. And it's Sunday, and it's 8:30. Well, no, it was a little earlier than that. It was like 8:15. And someone's knocking at my door. It's a little bizarre. And I'm looking out through my door. I see the kid, but I don't see like a broken down car or anything. And the kid is asking for a charger. I did open my door, but I'm prepared. Just in case, you never know. When you're alone, you are armed and dangerous. I am very armed and very dangerous. And as you can see, I've used this on a tree. It's my long axe, not including all the other hidden things in my house. Second Amendment right. Yeah, I don't play around when you're by yourself and the world is not a kind place at times. Even though I like to project harmonious stuff, I just didn't feel his energy was bad. I didn't present any of this. This all was hidden within me and concealed, but I wasn't too thrilled that it's late and it's a child knocking on my, not a child, but like maybe a tween. If that, it was very small child. Well, how can I word this without being insulting? I'm trying to be nice. But I didn't have the charger that he needed, and I don't have spares in the house. So I felt bad, but I said, I am sorry. Don't know how else I can help you. And he's like, no, I just need that. And I walked off. But then some alarm bells are ringing in me. And that's my spirit guides and everything. And it's pulling at me in the wrong probably way, but I don't like it. It didn't feel right. So I have my fun weapon here, and then I have my fun weaponry here, just in case. I will be fine. But that's the madness right before I do a mind-blowing video, right? I want to thank all the new subscribers, even though I'm sure those people do not watch my regular content. They're watching my Little Thor shorts. But if you come and check me out, hi guys. Little Thor did not come back this afternoon. I'm a little sad about that, but he did hang out and took a nap for like an hour and a half. And then he's like, I want out of here. So hi to everybody. How are you? Besides me being on an alarm bell, and I'll put that out of sight over here. Tea and chat. My tea is still hot, piping hot. I have my water. Make sure you guys are drinking your water. We're going through a lot right now. I took notes. I urge everybody to watch Alexander Quinn on his channel. He's on Telegram and then he has a YouTube. Again, I don't make any money or anything. I just suggest people that I resonate with. I don't resonate with everything Alexander says or does, but when he has Linda Good McGillis on, it's fantastic. I love her. I got a lot the last few days, and I'm going to go through it with you guys, and I'm going to recommend a book. Unfortunately, I got to reach out to this author of this book. I posted it on Telegram and my Facebook. It is exponential, but we'll go over what I got out of the Linda Good McGillis. I just have to see where the hell I started. Okay. What I wrote down first, and I listen objectively to people. I don't. If it hits here, and then I replay it, I go back to videos and I re-listen like a whole lot, so that I'm comprehending and I'm taking in, is this alignment with me, or is it something I just need to let go? Clarity is an unfoldment. It has layers. Clarity builds on each other. And you would think when someone says you need clarity, ask source or ask your guides for clarity, we think it's all going to be revealed to us, or some big dynamic component of what you're asking for clarification on is going to be a aha, epiphany, snap moment. And in fact, what they were bringing up made more sense to how my soul operates, because my soul functions in layers. So I'll get a lesson and then it might repeat, or I might have to go deeper to heal it. And then there's another layer of unfoldment for me to heal or for me to let it go. And then there's the final stage of actually letting it out of my system. So I break things down and slowly, so that my soul can really absorb the lesson, can understand it fully and embrace each layer that I'm going through. It is hell. Hell. Because it takes a longer time for me to figure things out. It takes me 5 times longer to get a lesson understood, absorbed, and ingrained in me, so I don't repeat it again. It takes me personally a lot longer for a lot of things to unfold for me to get a big picture. Clarity is no different from the lesson. If I want to ask for clarity on my situation currently, as into I'm putting myself back out into the universe trying to get a job, what's the clarity? What am I missing? What am I not looking into? Give me a direction, give me some clarity in what direction I need to face, and then I'll look into that area. I'm not getting anything right now, so I have to be patient. It's very frustrating to be patient when bills have to be paid. You're not getting so much work coming in. It's, I'm back at where I was in Staten Island, where it's like I'm about to have to really just literally bite a bullet and just get any kind of job and just bear the pain of my body and figure it out as I go along to find something better. I don't want to go and repeat that rat race I was at when I was in my teens and early 20s. I would like to have a career and not have to bounce back and forth like I'm a teenager. It's annoying. But if that's what is meant to be, it's going to happen that way. I just want clarity, right? But whatever you need clarification on, it might unfold in layers and it builds upon each other. So don't get angry with the universe. Like, I'm not angry with them that they're not showing me or giving me the clarity I need right now. It might not be divine timing. I give compassion to that. Okay, I'll just wait. And in the meantime, I'll push my artwork because that's the only means of income I can make. What do you need clarification on? What is it within you that you need clear? Don't expect it might come in a big aha epiphany, but for most people, that stuff doesn't come in one shot. It comes in layers, snapshots of layers. So I thought that was very interesting that they brought that up. And I like how Linda unfolded that for us, literally. Now, when I had a reading on Sacred Valley by David Good, damn, Grood, there we go. He talked about February for me in my reading, and you can watch that. It's on Sacred Valley on Rumble. He said that February was gonna fucking suck for me. And we're almost there, we're on the precipice. But I could see and understand from their perspective what's coming in February. Now, take this if it resonates with your paradigm. It might not for you. But the electric storm. February is bringing electricity to us. Our neutron in our bodies gets an electric illumination. The neutron feeds the charge, the proton of our DNA structure. So from what I was getting in that conversation she was having, you have your inner path that the electrons are going to stimulate and bring into the illumination. And then you have the proton, which is your outer path and your physical. And the electricity will unveil every bit of polarity, template, coding, the karma within us. It's going to be rough. And that's why I feel he said I'm going to have a lot of indecision and a lot of things I need to purge from, because I'm going to be upgrading my system, my body, and I have to choose a path. And some things might be hindering my path, or people, places, and things might be hindering me, where I need to really make a change. And when I'm watching all the oracle and tarot card readings for my sign, I'm in Aries. I also watch for my rising and moon. Those are rough too. Change is like major theme. Change. Next couple of weeks, everything is change. It's taking the giant leap. It's taking the fool's leap. The tower moment, but everything is going to be freaking roses later on. And David said by my birthday, things are just going to clear up and things are going to get better. I had a lot of people say that to me, and I know how my soul works. Not so much. I would hope so. I put that out into manifestation and will it into existence for myself. But I'm realistic. I'm logical. I have had a lot of hard things that happen to me in an early stage of life. It happens. I understand the lessons I learned from each and every one of those events. Great. But this is going to be something we all need to be aware of. This doesn't mean we're getting a lot of people are still stuck on this. You're climbing the flesh of light rope, and you keep climbing and you keep climbing. If it's not in your paradigm, it's not going to happen for you. And that's up to you if you can remember, if you wrote it for yourself. Not saying it's not going to happen. It's going to happen specifically for certain people in certain ways of their perception and interpretation of what that light is. Some of us are just going to feel like February will be the electrical storm. It will come to us in that form. Not everybody's going to experience it that way. Other people are going to get the plasmic light and they will physically see a flash. That's a paradigm for those people. There is no right or wrong. Remember, we create our reality. So if you wrote that for yourself, wonderful. I'm not disclosing it, but everybody, a lot, I hate to say everybody because it's not everybody, but a big majority of people, when I'm reading chats and I'm looking in different places, everybody's buying into this crazy one event, and it's going to be like, and I don't doubt that's not going to be for everybody. It's going to be for some people, but again, clarity is an unraveling. Some people, it's going to take a lot longer for their unconscious and their super consciousness to unravel the layers of the codes coming into your system. People are, we've all been slow walked, FYI, all of you who are healers and light workers, we've been slow walked, especially Dolores Kane and waves of people that are coming in. We're not all genetically DNA'd upgraded like most of the kids that are coming in now. Our bodies have to be gradually upgraded so that we can make it into what is coming. A lot of people are leaving the planet because their bodies can't handle the upgrades. Again, I keep saying unsolved mysteries, human explosion, human implosion, and your ashes on the floor. And the unsolved mysteries team comes in with a camera, and here you are, your ashes on a chair. It's crazy. Human combustion. I don't think our galactic friends, Prime Creator, and all the beings that are helping us get into this shift out of destruction want us to be overloaded and not to make it. This is some people will graduate, but they will be in other bodies. So the people that are passing away, don't worry. The majority of them that had good hearts and that loved unconditionally, they will meet you. They will meet your light in the next density dimension. Don't worry, they're always going to be a part of you. And I'm going to explain in the book why, but we're not done yet. So February is bringing trust and distrust to the surface, and it will present itself. We're being asked to step into our human maturity, not individual maturity. It is the maturity of, we know the kids are being bad over there, the little children acting out, having temper tantrums, people all around you doing things that you just condone, and but stop feeding it. And this is where the maturity comes in. Letting it go. Not feeding that tantrum. Take all the things going on in the world that are very heavy and very hard to even fathom. Think of it as a 2-year-old having a tantrum. Are you pacifying the behavior? But here's my iPhone, go play over there. Calm yourself down. Oh, I'm going to get you the toy in the store because you're having a tantrum. I need you to shut up. So you're still feeding it not okay energy by doing that. Or are you being mature enough to let the tantrum happen, but you're going in that direction? and you're letting the kid just tire themselves out. And then when they calm down, you could be like, okay, well, here is why you're not getting that. And here is why we're not giving energy to this. It's up to you. I rather let them tantrum, ignore their tantrum, let them do their thing, and I'll go over there and create the world I want. I'm not giving into their temper tantrums, not feeding it. And that's a part of the maturity I feel a lot of us need to start embarking on. As hard as that is, and as impactful it is in this planet, on this time frame, it is very difficult. As a lot of us are looking at the food prices, we're looking at the gas prices, we're not seeing any kind of aid. The system is being played in every which way. It's not easy. So how do you not give your energy to that? Well, that's the maturity that we need to learn as a collective. Big focus that Linda pointed out was your belly button, your solar plexus. That is everything. Has to be healed. It's the seed. If she, sorry, I hear noise. It's the seed, the belly button's the seed of your soul. And that's the umbilical cord that connects us to mother. And there is cords that are flying out of us at all times through the belly button. If you want to heal yourself, you rub essential oils in your belly button, right? I do it. So those are things that we need to detach our cords that are no longer cut the entanglements to, things that no longer serve us. Go inside of ourselves to know what we trust, who we trust. And that includes ourselves, being honest with ourselves, and not just faking it until you make it. When it comes to trust, you really need home base to be secure as a solid foundation. And the distrust is the people, places, and things that I see it, I saw it all day in chat today. I don't know if we should trust this person. I don't know if this person's a part of the PSYOP. Why are we focused on it? Who cares? Stop feeding your energy. When it comes out, it will come out. It's an agenda to take you off track. Once you detach your emotional states to all these fanciful things that are being said, and who is pushing this narrative, who is pushing the social media, let's remember, I tend to live in neutrality. I take an eagle view up. I look at both sides. I just don't look at this side and make a judgment. I make a discernment on both sides. I come into a neutral state and I look at the greater picture from above and see how the chess game is being played. I detach my emotional state from people, places, and things. Because as much as we want to think that certain people have the betterment for humanity, well, it should have already happened because there is so much suffering. Understandably, we need the suffering to learn from. Get it, big picture. But we're still feeding negative agendas, even if you think it's of the light. Let's say these people might be steering you in the wrong direction, and you're feeding that agenda. What happens if it's really creating a reality for them? It's just something you really need to really ponder about and take seriously. What are you focused on? What is your focus in your life? I don't care what age you are. You could be younger than me. You could be way older than me. What is your focus for yourself? I would hope number one is self-love. Number two, what is your purpose here? There's a lot to unravel in those two questions alone. There's a lot of healing, especially people that are way older than me. There's a lot of deprogramming you need to do. Because as much as I see a lot of people I deal with are way older than me, and I love you guys, there is still so much programming within you. I hate to say that, but I'm seeing it as you are projecting your words and writing things down. And sometimes it seems very demanding and very rude. I don't owe you anything. You could be secure in yourself and you could stand in your convictions. That's great. But look how you're projecting your words, your emotional states to other people that are all loving and trying to embrace everybody. It's mind-boggling. It's getting there. A little less hot, cozy good. So let's be more consciously aware of how we need to heal ourselves in the next 6 months. That's what Linda was saying, that the next 6 months specifically will be a time where we need to reveal the distrust within ourselves. There's deep inner healing if you take advantage of this to really go inside yourself to find the programs that are ingrained in you, and you might not even be aware that they're there. Clarity is like an onion. You got to unfold it. It's the lotus. It has to blossom out, and each layer is going to unfold. It's not a one and done kind of thing. I know from myself, if I looked back at all the work, all the shadow work, I am nowhere near done. Nowhere near done. But I'm unfolding the layers when they are presenting themselves, when I am cognizant of them, and I'm trying to heal them. And that comes also in stages and layers. Understand, give yourself compassion and grace that you are working each and every day to better your life and yourself. We're at a point of no return. We hit the singularity point. We're trying to catch up to Gaia, who's already ascended. We need to shift direction into building the future we want. It's not yet in the present, but if we put will to focus and we start thinking more about not the wrongs that they have done, we need to understand what they did so we don't repeat the past, but as a collective of us really need to start pushing the agenda forward. And that's only because we need to start creating for us the positive, the light, and stop feeding the negative. How are we going to do that if no one's really focused on, oh my gosh, who's going to win the election? What's going to happen with BRICS? What's happening in the world? Oh my goodness. And thought forms. Your field is going all over the place. I'd rather just emote love, light, happiness, find what brings joy to my heart. And I already am doing that. I love making my artwork. I love reading books. I love working with children. That has yet to fold into my life, but it might. What is it that you are passionate about and that's going to bring you joy that we can bring into this new world? We're creating it. What are we waiting for? Oh, I don't know. I don't know, guys. Let's get on it. I had to check around the perimeter of my house again. I heard things. Thankfully, it's not little Thor and it's nobody for now. Spirit, maybe. So getting back to this electrical possible event, again, if it's in your paradigm and you perceive it, great. If not, don't worry. It's not meant for you. But this is a deep time because of the planetary alignments for deep surrender and mass transformation. It's going to ripple out, which is what's been unfolding since it's been happening over and over. Sorry, guys, I have to readjust this camera. Nope. There it goes. Tea time. We've been rippling. For many of us, those ripples were coming in as children, especially those of us who have abilities that are cognizantly aware of having abilities. I think everybody has them. 2012, the leading up to 2012, I think we had more ripples in the time continuum that is our third dimensional reality. And after 2012, I think it really picked up, where the mass of all of us who are meant to be awake started becoming more aware and more aware and more aware. And then we hit like a very big precipice the last 4 or 5 years. It's been exponential. The rate and amount of how people are just the light bulb. There are people right now who they got a ripple. They don't know where to place this ripple. They don't understand the wave. They just know things are not right. They just can't put their finger on it yet. And that's where a lot of us are going to come in. But it's our time to give that deep surrender to the universe and just trust that it's going to play out the way we wrote it. And many of us wrote a really good ending to our stories. Now, Linda talks about the Mandala Effect, and this blew me away. And I hope she doesn't mind. I'm giving her all the credit because she's freaking fantastic. Please go find her and listen to her. She is a wealth of knowledge. I take what she says into my heart space and it aligns. This is like freaking ridiculous. The Mandala Effect. Whenever we change, this is quote word for word for the most part. Whenever we change consciously anything within us, we create a Mandala Effect. We have neutralized certain energy and changes other energies, which changes even the records. It removes the distortions and it moves it to organic nature of our consciousness, linear time. So when I was just talking about the waves of transformation happening to all of us, It's certain time delineations in time space. A lot of these like 80s babies know a lot of the Mandala effects because it affects from the 80s, early, like late 70s, early 80s babies recall a lot of things that other people are like, what the fuck? Right? And when we're changing our consciousness and we're becoming more aware and awake, and we're aware, things get neutralized, energy changes and shifts, and so does the distortions of what they have implanted into our dimension. It's wild. Like, we are creating them for ourselves, but collectively we're writing in the right timeline where we're supposed to be on. We were taken out. There's time control. I'm still researching time control. Time, not time travel, time control. Big, crazy looping around my brain. But we're going back to the organic nature of where we're supposed to be. So all the things that we are seeing Mandala effects about, like, for the most part, we're creating it so we go back to our organic timeline from what I took out of it. It's a lot to take in right there. Yeah. The energies that are coming up is intense. We're going to feel like we are dying while we are alive. Our higher self is bloop into the body, and the bigger solar flash is, from their perspective, coming in April, spring. And a lot of people are feeling this. But they also acknowledge that it might be coming in waves. So it's something to really think about. That, and I've said this on other videos without them even watching them and them saying this, because I've said it for myself. My higher self walked into this vehicle a while ago, because my lower vibratory stated soul that was ingrained in my body wasn't going to be able to handle what is now here. My whole disposition changed. The views that I held once before gone. Like, I had an epiphany one morning and I felt different, and I went into meditation and I saw a higher entity being, and I asked what it was. It was my higher self that came into my embodiment. But that is just one layer of my higher self. Higher self has many different levels and densities. So I've said your other fractals of you that are out in the ether, in the universe, in different dimensions and densities, you're pulling all of those cords in to you, and you're gonna feel like poop. So you got to surrender to this process. It's never been done before, and everybody's going to feel different when this does occur. Just understand that. Just give yourself grace and compassion and allow your body to speak whatever it needs, whatever it wants. Try to do the best you can to give it, and have grace, and try to do a lot of meditation for that process. Hi. Sorry, I have to keep pausing, guys. Checking for my safety. Lastly, in that video with Linda Good McGillis, she says, happiness is not an emotion. It's something you generate and put out to celebrate. So I kind of feel very similar because we attach happiness to states of emotion, but it's what we generate. It's the frequency that we are putting out. Are you truly happy? Something to really take into consideration. Which rolls on into the main reason beyond the notes, because I really wanted to talk about that. The mandala thing was epic. This book. I was going to continue reading the Transylvania Moonrise Sunrise trilogy. I think there's more than, there's a few books. And I saw this and needed to have it. Reconstructing Reality, a multidimensional love story, Love Beyond All Boundaries, by Suzanne. I only am into page 16. And I already have, like, I marked down sections of things that I find interesting. And I couldn't find maybe one page that I didn't cry in happy tears. How much I was already validated and how much confirmation I got alone in the way I think and what I talk about on this channel. I keep getting don't doubt, like, I don't really doubt myself, but there's sometimes that things are a little too fanciful or a perception is a little, you get that eye stare like, okay. We all have those things. It's human, right? I cried in joy with what I was reading. And I'm taking a slower, I usually read really fast, like when I'm not talking it out and doing it on this channel, like I'm a really fast reader and I cognizantly needed to slow down. I already put this on my Telegram channel. I put it in a lot of Telegram chats. I put it on Facebook. If you could buy this book, I recommend it. And I'm going to read the back. Unfortunately, this can't be read outright. I need to contact this author and see if there can be something done. I need to impart a lot. I can impart a lot of the wisdom, but this is next level shit. This is what I've been talking about slowly through all my spiritual soul advices. I'm going to read the back. Most of us do not remember that we have volunteered to recall our multidimensional heritage and unite with our true self in the higher worlds. Remembering this unity would be difficult indeed with the knowledge of only one lifetime. Fortunately, as each of us begins to awaken, we remember our past lives. These past lives are actually all occurring at the same time in different space-time coordinates. Satcher, the main character, is studying on the fifth dimension and acting as the higher self to her different. third dimensional lives. Stature does this by entering into a dome, which allows her to interface with the physical world. As she moves through these layers of multidimensional love, she discovers what she was and who she is meant to be. Dr. Susan Lai is a multidimensional counselor, teacher, author, and artist specializing in helping others connect with their multidimensional selves. Holy shit. So, just like the Stargate, finding that on a map, my coordinates to my old house on that map, and that opened up the floodgates to my life. It made me understand why I had all the experiences, why I chose my parents, why things felt in the way they did. All the experiences that I needed to have, why all of those answers were flooding in, and it took me about a year to really encompass all of that information, because I was going through my childhood all the way up into my move to sort out, why did this stuff appear to me? Why did this happen? Why did I see certain things? Why did I have certain experiences? That answered a huge, big time, all of it. But this book takes it to another level. Within the 16, and it's not even 16, because there's like a whole beginning prologue, a preface, a prologue, and it kind of tells you like how it's going to be read. It put in perspective the vivid dreams that I get, the snapshots of other lives that I am living in other bodies, the at one mint that I feel when I'm going into being an oracle, getting stoned to death in the time of Yeshua, but also having the eyes. I haven't really disclosed this, but I've had some visions that I wasn't comfortable talking about, that I get snapshots of what Yeshua was going through. And not so much the crucifixion thing, but conversations, not in language that I even can understand, but I understood what was happening. It's freaking bizarre. I get snapshots of myself upstairs on a ship. And upstairs doesn't necessarily mean outer space, outside the firmament. It could be multi-dimensional, multi-layer. I don't discount everybody's perception and interpretation of what reality we're on is all going to be different, and I respect everybody's viewpoints. For myself, I see myself on a high-tech, I got a very technologically advanced rifle, and I got braids on one side of my head, and I am way taller and very thin and not so much different from what I look like now, but a little prettier, in my opinion. And I do love myself, and I think I'm pretty. But, geez Louise. So, reading the first part of this book, I can't keep it to myself. I must share this out to whoever resonates and aligns in the heart space with understanding the multidimensionality of yourself. When I say that you are made up of different components and different fractals of different things and different entities on higher beings, and they're having an experience through you, it's the same concept that is written in this book, but the way it is written, I'm going to put a pause on that thought. I love people. I really do. What I need people to understand that are interacting in my life, I just got somebody that just sent me go play Monopoly game. I don't play games like that. And I also have a life, and I need to be able to do me, and I give a lot of myself away. I know this, and I've been putting an end to that. I have boundaries, right? Like, I don't mind talking to people on the phone, but at some point, like, I have work to do. Like, this stuff takes me a while to do. I have to keep checking out and doing things in my house. I have pipes that are frozen or about to be frozen, or I'm defrosting pipes that at any moment can snap and I can have a major issue. Like, if I'm not aware of these things, I'm trying to prevent things to happening. I have commissions I just got done. I'm like doing in the middle of. Like, I love people. I just get overburdened and I'm bombarded with a lot of people. Just give me grace and compassion and know that I have a lot going on. It's still, even though I have I don't even know what situation, that's a situation. I have a situation. I had a situationship before. This is feeling more like a situation. I'm still alone. I'm still by myself, still traversing, still paying all the bills myself. I'm still alone in very many capacities. So I have a huge responsibility taking care of my household, taking care of my Morgan cat is not doing okay. She's not walking right. She's on the last legs of her life. Being pulled in 5 other directions because people can't do their own work. I get this all the time off of Telegram. I love you guys and I don't mind helping, but at what point are you there's I understand there's some people that really don't know the tech or don't know how to do something. I don't mind helping. It's not about that. It's demands. Like today, I'm sorry I'm sidestepping this, but it's like this is upstairs, like conveying a message to everybody, to have compassion for me. It's not that I don't want to do things and I'm not trying to ignore people. I just have so many people at once that I get like 10 to 15 text messages in one snap of a finger, and everybody's needing a reply in that moment. No, that's not going to happen. I can't do that. I'm being pulled in 5 million different directions. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. I'm not expending my energy like that. So please be aware. I do have a lot of people that try to reach out to me. And I know a lot of people are financially strapped, and I don't mind giving my free advice or talking spiritually with anybody. Just be aware that there's time constraints, and I have other things going on in my life. It's not to disrespect anybody. It's just, it's been a lot the last couple of days. And today's specifically, you know, in the chat, I make it clear when Jason's doing and puts, you know, his links in the chat, that I'm copying only his links and I'm putting it in a comment so people can find it later. If I were to put every one of Strack Warriors, or, you know, there's a lot of people who put a lot of great information, but guys, I don't get paid. And there are times I do have to walk away from the computer to go to use the bathroom or go pour, or I'm drawing. I'm not sitting for 5 hours because I have to get a life going on, guys. As much as I'm home, I still have things to do in my home. So please be aware. I have boundaries. I have a life to live as well. And as much as I am a service to everybody, I don't mind. Just something has to give. And I don't know what needs to give yet. It's going to come. Like in the middle of doing this video, I think I've already had 15 to 20 text messages, and they're not from the Viking, not from the boy, the situation. Just a lot of people texting me, right? So it's not, and I don't know if anything is ever an emergency. That's why I check my phone. It takes me away from doing what I need to do. So just keep in mind, I'm not here to point a finger at anybody. It's a lot of people. I love you all. And when I get back to you, I get back to you. It's not, I'm not ignoring. It's just, I have to make myself a priority because I am all I have. I don't have anybody to fall back on. I don't have family to fall back on. I love my family, but I can't fall. I already learned that lesson when I lost it all. There was not one of my family members that could really help me in my fall. Two family members sent me money to feed myself, and it wasn't like a lot. So just put that into perspective. I went almost 2 years with eating once a day, and only once did 2 of my family get me any kind of subsistence, and it wasn't enough. So just saying, I don't really have people in my life to fall back on. So I have to make myself that priority. And when books like this fall into the lap, well, there's a lot we can learn from this book. Whether you believe in the multidimensional self or not, this book confirms a ton of what I said in my other videos. And for me, that confirmation and validation is just spirit saying, stop doubting yourself on deeper levels. So this first part here talks about the different dimensions and the journey of an awakened volunteer. We're all volunteers here for the most part. Some of us not. I believe there's, the messages here are again general. Jason Q says this all the time when he goes into the spiritual stuff, and he's not wrong about this aspect. You cannot skip 4th dimension, 4th density, whatever. I know dimensions and densities are completely different. I get that. but the conception in human form, a lot of people misconstrue it. So level 4, you can't skip it. Each one of these concepts are a stair step into getting there. Stair steps meaning you're stepping up, taking a journey. A lot of people use stair steps. You can't just take the elevator straight to the top. It doesn't work like that. Each one of your levels, you're learning and growing and having an experience and gaining wisdom, integrating it, and then it comes out in your outside world. It's projecting out of you, but you got to take it all within yourself. I'm going to quote, this is off the 5th dimension. Quote, on this plane of existence, all inhabitants live in the unity of the oneness and the here-ness and of the ever-present now. Could you even imagine that? And that's what in my individual spiritual journey, this is what I'm working on, is unity consciousness, is the at one-ment, the oneness, the here and the now, living in the present, living in the moment, not really worrying about too much into the future and not really looking back at my past, only to heal from it, but not to dwell and stay there. This first opening portion of the book is mind-blowing. So part 1 is the Violet Temple, Venus. Home, chapter 1. Innocence, chapter 2. Courage, chapter 3. Guilt. Unworthiness, chapter 4. Abandonment, chapter 5. Releasing the Victim, chapter 6. Part 2, Initiations, I Am. The Vortex, chapter 7. The Priest, chapter 8. The Medicine Man, chapter 9. The Inner Goddess. The Priestess of Delphi, chapter 10. In Service to the Goddess, chapter 11. Life After Birth, chapter 12. Now, as I read the back, this is how crazy this book gets. Cast of characters. Part 1, the Violet Temple. The Guide, Stature's mentor on Venus. Lemire, Stature's divine complement. Lemira, Stature's 5th dimensional Venusian name. Lemurius, androgynous name of Lemire and Lemira of as one. And I'm going to leave it there because then they go into the lives that they've lived. And that's what the chapters are really, the priest, the vortex, the medicine man, like that. Those are the lives that this androgynous entity lives. I don't want to give too much away because but when I talk about in my videos, the infinitude of source, and how when I had to shut that Stargate, I had Terry and Jonathan take me into a very deep meditative state and take me through the portals to get to source and to find myself amongst the infinitude, my energy signature in the biggest pool of golden, brilliant light. And when I found myself, then I found the family of tribe members around me, the frequencies that they all inhabited. And then it ripples out, but it can only ripple so far that it's so expansive. When I talk about being one with source, that you are source, but what happens when source decided to have an experience? Well, it differentiated from itself. And then you split into eventually, out of the higher densities, you become the archangel, the Daihan Kohans, the ascended master, and whatever energy you chose to play. And then each density, you densify down the fall until you are no longer one, but you separate into a female and a male essence. And then each role, each life, you're either a male or a female, and you played both roles in different lives. And I also go into saying that you have experiences in different colors, languages, forms, shapes, sizes, rich, poor, white, black, Asian, Hispanic. You've been on this side of the world, you were on that side of the world, but you are also your starseed self, and you had many experiences in different galaxies. It's not just confined to here. But in the book, it's trying to explain to you that you have a male and a female, but you're really technically one. Your soul divided itself. And there's fractals playing a role in someone else. That's you. And this story is fucking mind-blowing. I don't know any other word to not curse. Middle finger over there. Holy shit. It's a story. It might very well be real, but it's probably very well made up. But it's explaining to you the separation, why some of us feel abandoned. I know I've had that my whole life. I knew I was adopted when I was a child. I felt abandoned. Even when my parents passed away, both my mother and my father, I felt very alone. And I already knew that I have a plethora of energy around me and spirits and ethereal elements all over the place. I just couldn't perceive it because I lost a lot of my sight as I got older. You're never alone. In the physical sense, you are. But energetically, I'm sure people can see the highway behind me of entities. And I mean, some of the videos, you can see the orbs. Like I got past those abandonment issues. I healed that because then I understood a bigger picture. I understood why I felt the way I felt. I went back and healed that inner child that felt abandoned or felt alone. There was reasons for it. At the time, in the moment, you don't know why, but when you reflect back, you can definitely take a lot in to heal from. And what is going on at the beginning of the story is the two aspects of the one are coming to Earth and having experiences, longing for itself, not understanding why, and it's being kind of QHHT session in a dome on Venus. It's crazy, but it's the way this the author words it, it validates so much. And again, I'm only on page 16. Uncanniness. I mean, here's another validation. Quote, it felt the aliveness of the air around it and the intelligent life force that cycled through its light body with every breath. The waters of light that caressed its feet grounded Lemurius into the matrix of this fifth dimensional hologram. Lemurius was fully aware that all matter and substance was an elaborate illusion created for the opportunity to commune and communicate with all that is. Who can back this up? Ra. Quo. Channeled that in the Law of One. Different wording. Ashiana Dean, very similar. She talks about the holograph. Validation. this got me in tears. Quote, when Lemurius traveled interdimensionally to the higher worlds, it would often take on the form of a speck of light or a star beam. This is how I see myself when I astral travel and I project my light body. I see myself as that big glowing ball of light. My higher self, every time I do those guided meditations to get to the Akash, and you're supposed to see your higher self in a room and nothing but only light. I'm not seeing form. I'm not seeing any, facial features or any of that. Anytime, and they're like going through and talking about when you see your higher self, you're going to see something quite similar to you, maybe different, but you'll recognize it. Well, when I ever go and do those meditations, all I am seeing is like an infinitude of a light being, just shining light. I don't see a form. I just see light. And it's annoying at times. I'm like, but I don't want to see this. I want to see more features. I want to see if there's this thing that's going to appear to me and help me clarify things. No, never. I laugh because it's just I stopped getting frustrated at that. I don't know if any of you have had that experience doing guided meditations and trying to go to the Akash and going and meeting your higher selves plural, and you're not seeing anything. You're just seeing a massive freaking room of light, and it's annoying. I find it annoying. Because, oh, you're supposed to see, and like the person doing the guided meditation is telling you like what to look for. And what you're seeing is nothing compared to anything that anybody has ever talked about. Make sure you're drinking your tea or your water. If you have those things. If you're drinking your alcohol or your cup of wine, glass of wine, it's Sunday. What are you doing? I mean, I highlighted, I think, half of this book, and I'm not even. This got me too. I have to reach out to this author because I don't want to get my channel shut down like they almost did with Dolores Cannon, like quoting too much. I'll leave this short. Quote, once the polarities are balanced, all judgments of good or evil can be released. And mistakes can mistakes can become lessons. Earth offers a great opportunity for the experience, chuckled Lemire. That's the path I'm walking, seeing beyond good and evil, releasing beyond it. That's what I'm walking through. It's not easy. I was telling a few people that I'm very like spiritually connected to. They're not walking this path just yet. But it's finding the God in everything. It's seeing God, the prime creator, in everything. It's finding the love, even when it's annoying. And I really highly recommend watching The Reality Revolution on It's Quo. I think Brian Scott did it today on discernment. And it's finding that love in all things, even the things that you want to strangle and take an axe to. I would like to be the warrior in the garden and be prepared and be able to defend myself, but never act on it. Just putting that one out there. I chopped a lot of tree limbs, big ones, with this. I like it. I like sharp objects. I'm a warrior. I'm an archangel. It's what's encompassing a lot of my soul fractal. And I know they're working on me. So I'm a warrior in the garden. That's okay. This is the paradigm that we are living in. I just choose to be prepared for the worst case scenario, knowing that it's probably never going to come. But I wrote all of those catalysts in my life anyway. But I'd rather be mentally and physically prepared than not. And just naively go around life, seeing the love and the joy and everything, but not having the rationale and the logical side of my brain say, well, not everybody has the best interests at heart. Not everybody's coming from a love position in their heart, unconditional. There are people that are and will go out to kill you. There are people out there that are willing to scam you, rip you off, and steal from you. They play that side. I got to see the God within them, but I'm condoning their behavior and their actions. I am not feeding it its energy. But you got to be prepared. This book is showing the two sides, the male and the masculine and the feminine, and the different lives that they have gone through and the lessons that they are taking in to learn. And it's major work. If you put, like I said with powder, go back to that video I did on Powder, the movie. And I ask you and I walk you through the movie because I want you to put yourself, insert yourself in his situation. Of course, circumstances and situationals are different for everybody. Abilities are different for everybody. But take the main idea and throw yourself into it and walk yourself through so you can see the perspectives. You can feel the healing happening when you put yourself in a fictitious character. And I bet you a lot of this isn't fictitious. I bet you it really did happen and occur. So we got to be mindful that when we're reading, if you choose to go get this book and read it, I will do a book review and my insights on it as I go further, but holy shit, 16 pages into the first chapter and a little into the second. And my mind is like, I did that a shit ton of times last night, like just grabbing myself and saying like, I'm not nuts. I'm not nuts. You know, I don't doubt myself, but there's times that the things I receive, I have to question. I always question everything I receive anyway. But you don't want to steer other people in a direction that might not be for their good and best and highest. And a lot of the things that I go on different shows and I talk with different people and I give different kind of a broader perspective and stuff that a lot of people aren't yet not exposed to. It makes me question, what should I hold back on and what should I just release like a faucet? And something within me is like, well, whoever is ready to receive that message are going to receive it. And if you don't put it out there, they're not going to receive it. So just go full-fledged. So, but at the same moment, a lot of people don't grasp or comprehend what I am talking about. But if you're in that category and you're still following me and you're just getting your feet grounded, that is okay. You're going to catch up. These advanced plasmic, electric, whatever you want to call the waves of energy hitting us, you're being worked on. Everybody is, whether they're aware of it or not. You're being worked on. Give yourself compassion. You will get there. And my paradigm might not be the same as yours. My path is mine alone. I wrote it. And there are similar people having similar pathways. And eventually, those similar people will enter in my life, and we will start the social memory complex. Because in this book, they say the same thing in fifth dimension when they're on the holograph, right? Whatever reality they want is experienced. Hear me out. And the people that feel or think the same way experience the same things. Wrap your head around that, because what have I been saying? We have to stop creating reality here for them and start focusing on the reality that we want to create, because it is and will manifest. So enough of us want peace, prosperity, abundance, and like vivid, huge colors we've never seen before. If we want to be able to play with the unicorns and the fairies, and experience magical, beautiful world existences, how are we creating it when we keep going back and feeding them? Fifth dimension, wherever they are on Venus, their holograph, whatever they want, they get. They experience it. They feel it. It's in this book. I've been talking about it forever. We can't obtain that if we're not doing the work now on ourselves. The biggest thing right now in all the videos I do, when I pull cards, is healing, deprogramming, knowing thyself, loving yourself, like unconditional love, understanding what your soul is. You might have like bigger fractals, if you take a pie chart and you divide it into whatever makes you up, some people's charts are just a few pie chart sections. Some of us have a plethora of different colors on that wheel, or some of us have some. We're all created equally but different. Depends what we wrote in and what our soul can handle and manage in this point in time. So just be aware of that. We're all at one at the end of the day. On a massive, bigger scale, we all come from Prime Creator. We are one. Now we're going to form going up that hourglass, or you can look at it going down, whatever. We're at the singularity point, and now we're dropping, or we're raising, however you see it. We're going back to the source. We're going back up. So the stair steps that we are taking to go back up to source is us doing the work and taking the steps to get there. And in order for us to do that, we got a lot of work to do internally, mentally, working our minds so we're not always thinking negative thoughts, talking down upon ourselves. Yes, our outside world, our situations are there to catalyze us, to trigger us for change. Yeah, it is frustrating when you don't know and don't have the clarity of the answers, or they're not unfolding for you to understand. I'm in that situation right now. How am I putting food on my table? How's my lights getting paid? I know my bills are going to be astronomical this month because of the weather. What do I do? I need to work. I don't make anything off this channel as of yet. I'm not monetized. And even that, it's not going to be that much, but it's something more than nothing. And I get enough here and there, I get waves of people that want things from me and I make them for them, but that's just a one-time thing. It's not a consistent flow. Right. And I love doing my work and I will always do this. It's not a question, but it's not sustaining. So my going through this world is figuring out what is it that I need to do in order to make an income and be flourishing, and do it in the way that I feel comfortable doing it in. I have morals and standards, unfortunately. Buy this book. I'm going to see if I can put the link in the description of, I have to remember where I got it from. But I will put it there if you're interested. If it sounds something like you would like to read, I definitely highly recommend it. And it doesn't matter where you are in your spiritual journey, it's really easy to understand language. It's not written like metaphysics and doctoral metaphysics and stuff that you need to start wrapping your mind around. It's not that bad. So definitely seek that out. Today, I am persistent. Today, nothing will stop me from accomplishing my goals. Nothing will stand in my way of my happiness. This is like a reminder to myself. As much as I want to be a help to others, I need to be persistent in being happy for myself. And, you know, drawing my boundaries up a little. Hey, I don't mind that you text me, but, or message me, but just be mindful, I might not get back to you right away. And when I get back to you is when I get back to you. I have a lot of people who are needing a lot of advice and I don't mind giving it. I mean, eventually I might have to start coaching and having a business in that direction possibly, or a mentorship, something. Because a lot of my day is spent on the phone or through text, and it's eating a lot up of things that I want to help and I want to be able to do a lot for other people. But in the same breath, I can't do much for myself if I'm occupying energy for other people and holding space. I don't mind it. It's just have a schedule and things in life, and can't get all that done if I'm sitting on a phone for 5-6 hours or texting a lot. I'm always here to chat. Email me. It's the best way to go. And when I get back to you, I get back to you. It's not easy running your own business privately. I want to keep consistent with this channel. I would like to have a relationship with Viking. It's not easy right now. That's why I call it a situationship. There's a lot of complexities that go on, and we have to just be mindful about other people and their space and respect. That's all I'm saying. Today, I am healthy. Today, my mind, my heart, and my soul are one healthy being. A lot of you need this, who are always looking for that med bed solution, when you can just read this and put it into your brain. And no, that doesn't prevent everything, but doing too much detox and too much supplements is also not that good for you. Tea. I had to pull cards. We're just doing one overall. What does the collective need to know right now? Yeah, this one's more like a chit chat, a tea, a book promotion, me venting, me being on my alert. A very odd day today. I'm not gonna lie, it's very odd. And I fell asleep to a really good meditation. I just zonked out. Ooh, I needed to. My unconscious got that guided meditation. I'm going to try again tonight before I go to sleep. See if I can do it again if I don't fall asleep. But anybody having that issue, because I do sometimes have that issue where I'm really aware I'm not tired and I'm just, you know, in the moment, in the deep meditative state, I'm out. And sometimes I really do fall asleep. Sorry, I just thought I saw something. It does happen to me a lot. I try to do 8-hour sleep meditations. I listen to a lot of it and I skip ahead to make sure that it's not infiltrated. And I'll play that when I'm sleeping, because that just goes to the subconscious mind. I'm also trying to listen to my surroundings, because right behind this computer is a window. There's no syncs with this next card. Not at all. Talking about Venus, and we have Theta of Venus. I'm not shitting you. Theta of Venus. So I guess that's a sign from the universe. I need to re-listen to the Theta wave binaural beats. I do delta, beta, gamma, and I do delta, but not as much. Maybe that's my tonight's day. I think they just answered my question. Attune yourself to higher consciousness by choosing to access the purest frequencies of love within. Acknowledge lower frequencies such as judgment, fear, doubt, or shame when they arise within or around you, but do not give them a foothold in your heart. You are ready for higher understanding, to see things in a new and more positive light. Allow your inner knowing to guide you on a unique, beautiful, and highly spiritual path. I don't make this up. I don't make this up. Venus is our morning and evening star, the stellar goddess and guardian of transitional awareness and higher consciousness, as this book is telling us. Heart, she is the way shower of light and fifth dimensional reality, also known as unity consciousness. I fucking can't. Her spiritual guardianship of humanity will be complete when our mass consciousness is based on love, light, and divine feminine wisdom. When you connect with the Venusian energy, it is an opportunity for increased love, magnetism, and spiritual charisma, a chance to shine your light and manifest your soul purpose with increased grace, synchronicity, and sacred artistry. Her appearance in a reading signifies a time of creative and spiritual awakening. It is a reminder of the power of the heart and ability to rise again after a time of karmic heaviness. A lot of us are in this heaviness right now. The souls of Venus, her sons and daughters upon this earth, are not spiritually bound by the mass consciousness of the human collective. They naturally vibrate at a more loving frequency. They can be genuinely astonished by the cruelty, meanness, and displays of dominance that typify the dark side of the human nature. Yet they have chosen to temporarily incarnate and bind their souls temporarily to the laws of nature. Everything that's just, what I've read in this book so far. So here is my holy crap reaction video to 16 pages of this book, right? And I'm talking and going through some of it with you, validating some of the things that I say to you guys. And here is a freaking card that I just pulled telling you about this book and what is going on in the collective. I'm not even done reading this. As they grow alongside their beloved earthly brothers and sisters, they share the higher resonance of their heart light, opening up the way for human evolution. The spiritual sons and daughters of Venus belong here, yet at an inner level, they know they are not from here. This oracle reminds you that you are not bound by the ways of this world, and that part of your higher purpose is to help heal, soften, and awaken humanity. Even if you find it hard to feel at home on Earth, perhaps sensing you are from the stars, Venus or otherwise, know you are meant to be here and that you belong in a very special way. There is a home here for you with the Earth Mother. I'm going to pause here because it's very important to note this, because there was somebody on, I think, a short, or somebody that found my videos, and they're talking about a specific person. I will not name names. They're an author, they write a lot of books, but they're also a very huge content creator. And I wrote that I don't align with their messages. I, take the book as an objective point of view. And some of the things I don't take away from their experiences whatsoever. I believe them in that aspect. But we are all fractals of the universe. And a part of our fractals, for most of us, are star seeds. That does not mean that you don't belong here. We're always looking, again, outside of ourselves to know what home really is, when home is here. You chose to be here. You incarnated a hell of a lot here. They talk about it in this book. These guys have been incarnating for a long time, and they go back to Atlantis. We've all done this. But home is here. We have to treat it that way. We can't say, I'm from this place and I want to go home. Home is here. And when you can grasp that one star seed experience, or the multiple ones that you have, is just an experience that your soul had to have. And that's a part of you. That's not taking away from this experience, but it's just a portion of you. It's a little tiny bloop on the big infinitude that you are. That's all I'm trying to say. It's not to take away that you might feel that you're connected to the Pleiades, or you're connected to the Arcturians, or you're connected to whatever race. I'm sure most of us are. There's no doubt about it. But don't make that your entire paradigm, and don't feed too much into it. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to finish reading this. When that person knocked on my door and I needed to check the perimeter of my property from the inside, I did put up a short before I did this video of a UFO in the sky. And I only caught the tail end of what I was seeing. they're here. They've been here. Most of us are alien. But we can't make that the entirety of what we are, because it's not. We're made up of so many different things. And you can't, and that's what this book is going to journey you through, is understanding you're more than just what you think you are. You're more than what you are. Your soul has many facets to it. You have other selves playing other roles in this grand scheme of the reality that we're in. They might be on different levels and different dimensions, but they're still experiencing it. You're just not perceiving and aware of it just yet. And for myself, like I was saying earlier, I've had snapshots. I have like out of body, what the hell? What am I seeing now? I have awareness to these things. I'm one out of a few that do. Maybe you do. But realize you're much more than that starseed self, or that angelic self, or that person, that guide that keeps coming through you. You're a lot of different things, and it's beautiful because it's you. You are loved, and yes, you are, and needed, and will attract whatever support you require to fulfill your destiny. Venus souls have a particular talent for creating beauty, working with light and spiritual energy, and calling to them whatever they want and need. You have your own healing journey, and part of the journey is your spiritual training in the ways of the earth at this time. And this is what I've been trying to impart on everybody on this channel, whether it's connecting to the books that I read or my open chats, spiritual soul advices, my ranting, whatever it is. And you don't need to feel the Venusian. It's just explaining what they go through. And a lot of you might be on this path. This will teach you what is needed to heal yourself and others. I've been saying we need to heal. You don't need to be afraid of the ways of the world. You are part of a spiritual team that is here to help transform the mass consciousness. Theta is a narrow range between 7 hertz and 8 hertz, which we access during deeper meditations and light sleep, including the dream state. The brain enters this state during the in-between times, such as when we are falling asleep or waking up from deep sleep. These are moments in which our capacity to create our consciousness is heightened. At this time, we become aware of deep-seated programming and are able to heal from reframing it. I talked about that earlier. During this state, you are conscious, yet your body is deeply relaxed. You see everyday realities through the inner spiritual eye and come to understand yourself and your life with spiritual insight. Put simply, you may see things differently when you are in the theta state, and your life may make much more sense to you. In reading, the appearance of this oracle is a special reassurance from spirit that everything is unfolding within the protective grace of divine love, even if sometimes it appears not to be so. It also indicates that you have the power to heal yourself and change your life for the better. I don't make this up. A book about Venus, fifth dimension, a card about Venus, theta state, but also talking about fifth dimension. And everything I had to say today. So guys, I don't know how many more syncs I can have for my own self. I hope you feel the syncs for your own self. It's a lot. And I hope you got something out of it. If not, a good book recommendation, because this is like, for me. And I can't just keep these things to myself. When I have a good book in my hand, I recommend it because reading for me is powerful. And for some of you, it might be the same. So sending each and every one of you protection, shielding, light, love, compassion, grace, and a bigly hug. Energy. Please be safe, be seen. Like me, I am the warrior in the garden, just in case I know how to defend my physical vehicle. And spiritually, I'm going to be black salting and saging and anointing my house tonight and drawing in the spirit to protect my property and myself and Morgan Cat. Little Thor, I haven't seen. Tracks all over my backyard are probably his, but hopefully he comes in. It is really cold tonight. Very cold tonight. I mean, it's been cold. There's no absolute about it. It's like, okay, they're telling me about tomorrow's weather. It's 18 degrees right now. And one weather app told me it was 12. So wherever, it's still cold out, and I hope the little guy comes to me. Thank you all for the new subscribers. If you come here to watch a video and not just a little short, I hope you got something out of it. I try to impart a lot of wisdom on people and things that I walk through. Please don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe. That helps me get out, and not just because I put Little Thor up in shorts. Something in me I need to release, and that's a trigger that I need to heal. I hope you guys had a wonderful tea or water or wine or whatever you drink. And thank you for sharing your whenever time you are watching me in. Thank you. And I hope I give you some kind of inspiration to do the work for yourself and on yourself, and to help other people around you who might be in that struggle. I know I get a lot, like I did complain a little while ago that I have a lot of people that are reaching out at me at once. It's overwhelming and overburdening at times. I don't mind helping, but we're here for a purpose. We just have to be patient when that purpose comes in. Know that I'm one person, right? So you might feel overwhelmed as well. You have other people that are coming and contacting you. Just give yourself some grace and compassion and put some boundaries up, and make sure you have a clear way of communicating to people. Like, I don't mind helping. It just has to be on the time that I'm able to do it at, or come to a compromise. Because sometimes, you know, when you're bombarded by 20 to 30 people at a shot, it's a lot. And it's a lot of energy for an empath to take in all at once. But I love you all. And if you email me, reach out to me, whatever, I'm here. Just be understanding I can't get to everybody all at once. And it makes me happy that people are reaching out to me. Don't get me wrong. It's just at times very overwhelming. And I feel bad when I don't like being ignored, but I get it. You know, I'm now on the other side of that coin, and it's a lot. So please be mindful if you're the one watching and you're reaching out to me and I'm not getting back to you right away. Like, just please understand, you're not the one and only person getting in touch with me. I have a lot of people and I'm trying to help all of you. And it's an energy drainer at times. So I'm working along with that. So I just wanted that to be out there. It might have been conveyed a little attackish earlier. So I do apologize. I'm not here to attack anybody, but I just need people to understand. Until the next time, guys, Please be safe, be seen. Be the worry in the garden, and I'll see you on the next one.